today. It's very unlikely, but
Why is it unlikely?
because the defense gets to appeal,
Right.
and if the defense gets to appeal, there is still a process.
So everyone was saying in September that if they rule against extradition, the state doesn't get to appeal in an extradition case.
No, they do. They do.
And I was just saying, because with all the live tweeting earlier before it came out that it ruled no extradition, she was saying that there's constitutional protections in America. She was saying that the argument about the jury being stacked is not about. What was all of that about? Because it was looking like they were going to.
I think she was covering her ass. I don't know. I mean, the fact that she ruled this is for me unbelievable.
Yeah.
There is a judge that is opposite of what they will decide.
Okay. So, do you want to do a statement?
Yes.
Okay.
Have you heard from anybody inside?
Kristen is thinking about it.
Well, all right. Let's do
Okay.
it. Let's do it.
Okay, let me round up the press.
All right. What can I believe? I mean, the whole of that judgment was against him until the last word. Yeah. Incredible thing. I mean, I was tweeting that all the way through, and she was just repeating the prosecution case, and then all of a sudden, bang.
How did she say it?
She just said, she went through the suicide risk. He is suffering from Asperger's. He has got suicidal tendencies. He will be in solitary. I'm not doing it. Yeah, we will be. Yeah. Sorry. We'll make a provisional one now, but the full statement will come when they talk to Julian, made a bail application. That's what's happening at the moment. I don't know. Possibly, actually.
Can we connect this so that people we could just call people from the thing, right?
Yes, put it on.
And then I don't know what it's Yeah. Hello? Hello? No, Josito, estoy testeando. Hello, guys. There's going to be statements. Do you want me to introduce you? Or so we've recently heard that there's not going to be extradition. This is a ruling that we welcome very much. There's going to be statements from Stella and Kristen Hrafson later on. We're still waiting on bail, but for now I introduce John Rees, who is the Don't Extradite Assange campaign head. So welcome, John.
Thanks very much. Well, that is incredibly good news that's come out of the court today. But many of you won't have been able to watch the proceedings, so just let me explain to you what has and has not happened. First of all, the vast majority, I would say 95% of this judge's judgment was to uphold the prosecution's case for extradition. She refused extradition at the last moment, in the last words of her judgment, because she accepted that Julian Assange was a suicide risk, and that if he was put under special administrative measures in the United States prison system, that would be an oppressive act. And on that basis, she refused extradition. What's going on at the moment is this. First of all, the United States are going to appeal this decision, and so the decision will be taken to a higher court, I expect, and we will have to fight this fight all over again. But at the moment, Edward Fitzgerald and Julian Assange's lawyers are talking to him so that they can prepare a bail application. So that will be heard in 45 minutes' time in this court. So please, do celebrate that the American prison system is so bad that even this judge wouldn't send Julian Assange into it.
Yes.
That's where we stand. That's where we stand today.
Thank you.
This is a very emotional day for those of us who have worked with Julian for years and supported him for all these terrible, dreadful times. We are delighted that he is soon going to be a free man again. We heard today arguments from the judge which were deeply concerning. We heard that it is possible for people to be extradited from the UK on political grounds, that there is no bar to that. And that is something that ought to deeply concern all of us. And I hope that Parliament will revisit the legislation that was passed in the post-9/11 protection for people suffering political persecution from being prosecuted by other governments. We have a judgment which still says that the UK can take that the United States can take anybody, any journalist, out with their jurisdiction and prosecute them for telling the truth about American war crimes. That aspect of the judgment, deeply, deeply concerning. But all of that is for tomorrow. Today we are swept away by our joy at the fact that Julian will shortly be with us. We have a judgment which I think makes an excuse to deliver justice, an excuse based on the appalling conditions in American prison, an excuse based on the effect that would have on American mental health, and perhaps a sign that the authorities are not prepared to follow through the persecution and destruction of a man for political reasons. And I'm delighted that this has been done. I'm delighted we have seen some humanity at the end of the process. It doesn't really matter, in a sense, how the justice has been reached, even if it's been reached by a peculiar process. We've seen a whole series of cases where extradition to the United States has been avoided on psychiatric pretexts, whereas the truth is that it's a recognition that a deeply flawed system of persecution should not be enacted by British courts. The judge has indicated that Julian will probably not be with us today. The American government has indicated that it's going to appeal the judgment, but there is a very good chance that Julian will be allowed out on bail pending the appeal, and I'm certainly very, very hopeful that we will have him walking with us this week. Thank you very much indeed.
Free Assange! Free! Free! Julian Assange! Free! Free! Julian Assange!
I want to thank you, all of you, for being there, supporting the freedom of expression, supporting Julian Assange, the man, the journalist, the activist, the freedom fighter. This is a victory of all the people who never gave up. The British judicial system wanted to save the face today. For those who were inside listening to the judge, it was like listening to the prosecutor's statement to begin with. If it's not for the very, very fragile health condition of Julian Assange, he will be already extradited. Every journalist should be concerned about what was said today in court, because the political arguments provided by the United States were upheld by the British judicial system. I repeat, it's only the doctor's assessment of the fragile health condition of Julian Assange that have saved him from extradition. The judge had to recognize the appalling, the oppressive conditions of the US prison system under special administrative measures for espionage cases, and the risk of Julian going for suicidal if he is extradited. That was the only thing that stopped that. So be aware that freedom of expression is still under attack. If it was not for the health condition, Julian will be extradited. Thank you, all of you. This was a case not only about freedom of expression, it was also a case about human rights. It was a case about the right for political asylum. And I want to say something. I feel very proud for my country protecting Julian Assange for so many years. Bravo. Against all international pressure. Bravo. And I feel ashamed about the decision of the Ecuadorian government in 2019 to give up and to hand Julian over to the Americans and to the British. Let's hope that Julian will be walking free as he should and keeps defending himself in freedom. Too much damage has been already done. Who is going to compensate him for 10 years of persecution, of defamation, of calling him